From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth.
Good Thursday morning. We are seeing a little bit on the radar, just a few sprinkles up towards the Hanford side and Connell, and also some snow showers in the Blue Mountains. On to visibility now, as it is pretty bad up in the Cascades. Elsewhere, we're not seeing any fog. Now on to temperatures. We're actually below freezing for portions of the Yakima Valley. That's where it could be a little frosty, and the same thing applies to the higher terrain of the Cascades and the Blue Mountains. We're right at 40 degrees this morning in the Tri-Cities. And those air temperatures could feel a little bit colder than that, given it is a little blustery in the Kittitas Valley for the Blue Foothills and up into the Blue Mountains. So for today, when it's all said and done, it's going to be another beautiful day. Plenty of sunshine, mostly seasonal stuff out there, and will be even warmer as we head into this weekend. I'll tell you just how warm coming up on Good Morning Northwest, which starts right now.
Straight ahead on Good Morning Northwest, more details coming in surrounding a domestic dispute, which we now know involved someone who worked for the sheriff's office.
And the city of Yakima is stepping up in its fight against violent crime. What those new efforts are is coming up.
Also ahead, foul play. A man ruffles some feathers after stealing his ex-girlfriend's friend's chicken. It's all on Good Morning Northwest. Sounds like a wild story. It starts right now.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good Morning Northwest, on your side.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Jade Elliott. It is Thursday, April 3rd. The gang's back together.
I am so happy you're back. It's been so boring without you.
And Josh.
It's been keeping me busy, but yeah, and without Josh too, of course. Yeah.
So we're back on track to finish off what is a lot of family spring break, of course, and we have a lot of news to get to as we start this Thursday. Starting off with some new information. We have an update to a story that we just brought to you on Tuesday. It involved a domestic disturbance out of Benton County.
On April 1st, deputies and Prosser Police responded to a call near West Kingtall and North Pioneer Road, and we now know the incident involved somebody who works for the sheriff's office. Due to the connection, Kennewick Police took over the investigation, and this led to the arrest of Kenneth Troy Couch. He's now in the Benton County Jail facing charges of second-degree assault and unlawful imprisonment.
And now a follow-up on the deadly crash in Richland involving Washington State Patrol Trooper Sarah Clayson. Our Apple Valley News Now team is uncovering some new information, and we're also hearing from Clayson's defense attorney.
That's right, and this comes after Clayson's toxicology report revealed her blood alcohol content was more than twice the legal limit, and that was at 0.17, and this was taken 6 hours after the crash. Documents also show Clayson may have spent hours at a Richland bar and restaurant called Moon Palace right before that crash. Clayson's attorney, Scott Johnson, had this to say in part. He says, quote, "The case has received unprecedented public interest both nationally and internationally. This intense interest has made it extraordinarily difficult to ensure my client's right to fair and impartial proceedings. Cases of the nature are highly complex."
He goes on to say, quote, "Determining the cause of an accident requires extensive data, expert analysis, and most importantly, time. The defense is actively conducting its own independent investigation. We have his full response up on our website." Our team also asked him if he knows if and when any charges could be brought against her. Johnson saying he's not sure, but that they'll come when the investigation is complete. We reached out also to Richland Police to find out where they were at in their investigation, and they let us know that it is still ongoing and will likely continue throughout the month.
And continuing in that coverage on that story that we broke last Friday, talking to the family of Yasser Sanchez, the 20-year-old who was killed in the crash after Clayson's car struck him, and this was while he was riding his motorcycle.
Yeah, the family actually visiting our station to express their thoughts on the new revelations from Clayson's toxicology report. The 20-year-old's mom, aunt, best friend, and nephew all speaking with our Austin Reed and Monique Ledesma. Here's a preview of what they had to say.
When you guys found that out, what were you thinking?
I mean, personally, learning that her alcohol level was 0.17, it was insane. Even more, that was 6 hours after the crash. So it was just insane, and it raises serious concerns about what her impairment level was at the time of the crash. And I feel like it really indicates a blatant disregard for law and public safety.
Now we'll have more from Yasser's mom, Yalimar Sanchez, tomorrow, as our Monique Ledesma will be translating what she had to say from Spanish to English. So stay with us both on air and online.
And another follow-up for you this morning. We're learning more about a head-on crash in Yakima that sent 2 men to the hospital. The crash happened Tuesday in the 2800 block of West Washington Avenue. Yakima police say a 39-year-old man was trapped inside of a truck. Fire crews were able to get him out, but he did have some severe injuries. Officials say that he was heading west before veering to the left eastbound lanes. He then hit a 60-year-old driving another truck head-on. He was taken to the hospital for non-life-threatening injuries. Yakima police saying that drug impairment is being investigated as a factor in this crash. And an update on the case of a man who was shot by Kennewick police at the Arlo Park Apartments a couple of weeks ago in Kennewick. Dylan Winters made his first court appearance where he was assigned a court-appointed attorney. He's been in custody at the Benton County Jail on $500,000 bail. And this after KPD officers found Winters with a large knife in the parking lot and at one point came running at the officers. That's when officers shot him, and officials tell us yesterday a competency evaluation was ordered by the court, which will take place in 3 weeks. So Winters is scheduled to be back in court on April 17th. The Benton County Sheriff's Office has taken over this investigation. Turning now to crime news, the Department of Justice is ramping up efforts in fighting violent crime with a particular focus on missing and murdered Indigenous people in tribal communities. Through the FBI's Indian Country program, 60 personnel across 10 field offices will be deployed to native lands in Washington, New Mexico, and Phoenix. Agents will serve in rotating 90-day assignments over the next 6 months in what officials call the most extensive national effort to address crime in tribal areas. Sissy Strong Reyes, the sister of Rosenda Strong, who was murdered back in 2018, says this is a step in the right direction.
Just to be on the same page, I think is a big thing, because majority of the time, I've spoken to many in community events, and some police don't know how much of an epidemic this is until they actually hear it from a family member or an advocate.
According to the DOJ, at the start of this year, they had roughly 4,300 open investigations. Over 900 of those were related to deaths, 1,000 to child abuse, and more than 500 to domestic violence and sexual abuse. The program's efforts have led to the recovery of 10 child victims, 52 arrests, and 25 indictments or judicial complaints. In Walla Walla now, progress is being made on the Winco grocery store that's coming to the area. The location of the store is part of the Myra Road Extension project, and according to City Manager Elizabeth Chamberlain, they're set to start construction next week. Chamberlain saying people will be seeing a lot of movement in that area because of the construction equipment, so drivers should expect some road closures, with the first partial closure being on Highland Road, which will be during the week of April 14th. As for the timeline of the construction,
Winco, their site plans have been approved, environmental review is complete, and so I would expect their permits coming in probably within the next, maybe 6 to 8 weeks.
She also says at this time, Winco is set to break ground later this summer, and both the Winco and Myra Road projects will be done at the same time, which is projected to be in the summer of 2026.
And now to another construction project coming to Walla Walla, the Mill District Master Plan. City Council approving the project at their last council meeting on March 26th. And it's been a project many years in the making due to it being on a 42-acre development. Elizabeth Chamberlain, who you just heard from there, has also been involved with this project since the property itself was rezoned into the urban planned community, which the rezoning allows for flexibility in how the property could be developed, like residential, commercial, and even open space. Chamberlain also says that nearly 120 single-family homes will be built with this project initially,
as well as some multifamily and some commercial, and then about a little over 2.7 acres of open space, which will be great because this property is located just south of Mill Creek, and so there's some opportunities for trails and park space that's also part of the project.
The project is on the north end of Myra Road. Residential construction is expected to begin within the next 6 months.
All right, now to some ruffled feathers in Washington state. Police arrest a man who allegedly broke into his ex-girlfriend's home and abducted her chicken named Polly.
Don't mess with Polly. Authorities say the woman called 911. It all happened Saturday, saying that her ex-boyfriend kicked in her door, grabbed her chicken, and yelled, "I've got Polly," and then he ran off. Well, police searched and found the man in the woods still clutching Polly. There's sweet little
goodness.
Polly right there. He was confronted at gunpoint. Deputies let him put the chicken in the back of the patrol car before they took him into custody.
And the 50-year-old had already been in police custody that same day and was released just 3 hours before the chicken incident.
Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a lot to unpack there.
Oh, so much.
But Polly's safe, and that's what matters.
Exactly.
And so is her owner.
Coming up next here on Good Morning Northwest, several storm names are being retired after making a lasting impact. And we have which ones in just a few minutes.
And giving you that live look outside this morning over Yakima from our Bi-Mart camera, Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth is going to have your first alert forecast when we come back after the break. It's 10 minutes after 5.
Do it all with Steel Battery. Double your runtime. Get a free extra battery with select Steel tools. Shop in-store and online.
Got a birthday coming up, celebrating a big win, or just want to gather the crew for a pizza and a good time? For decades, Hubby's Pizza has been the go-to spot for family, friends, and fun. Reserve your table and bring the whole gang. Kids, family, teammates, whoever loves great pizza and good vibes. Dig into your favorite pizza, hit up the fresh salad bar, and let the kids have a blast in the arcade. And if the party's at your place, no problem. Hubby's now delivers through Grubhub and DoorDash. A community tradition, a place to celebrate. Acquire the Hubby's habit today.
Attention former Hanford workers and contractors. You deserve the benefits and care you've earned. You may qualify for benefits including life-changing in-home health care. Join United Energy Workers Healthcare for a free Atomic Family Reunion at the Three Rivers Convention Center in Kennewick on Friday, April 11th. Reconnect, enjoy great food, and learn about exclusive benefits to help you live longer, better, and independently at home. RSVP by calling 509-286-2661 or visit uewhealth.com.
It's the National RV Show at the Pendleton Convention Center, April 4th through the 8th. Get amazing discount prices from manufacturers from across the country, like Grand Design, StarCraft, and more. And $2,500 over NADA for your trade. Their show-only financing with 0 down, rates as low as 5.99, and no payments till July. And talk about giveaways. Win a StarCraft trailer or $30,000 in cash. And every purchase gets a free 65-inch TV. So don't miss the best deals of the season at the National RV Show at the Pendleton Convention Center.
Curve Appeal's new Era machine is here with an unbeatable offer. Get 4 sessions for just $999 or 8 sessions for $1,799. The best prices in town for incredible results. This special ends April 12th. Start your new era with Curve Appeal. Book your consultation today.
Dispatch says our hijacker already stabbed one hostage. Let me talk to him. He's gonna need a hospital.
I make the rules here, okay?
She just became another hostage.
911, all new tonight on ABC.
Wendy Redmond, Austin Reed, Stacy Lee weather. Apple Valley News Now on your side. From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's take you on a bit of a temperature tour for this morning, as we are pretty close to freezing in Cle Elum, but we're above that for Ellensburg and Vantage. And the Yakima Valley, kind of seeing a mixed bag right now. We're below freezing in Yakima and in Sunnyside, but the rest of the valley just barely above freezing. And then in the lower Columbia Basin, a mixture of 30s and 40s. 40 for the Tri-Cities, 38 in Benton City, 39 for Boardman. And then into the Blue Foothills, Heppner below freezing. The rest of the foothills above freezing, but the Blue Mountains down into the 20s and 30s. So remember, where you're below freezing, there could be a little bit of frost out there. Here's your day planner for the rest of today. For lower elevations, a beautiful day in store. We'll end up having mostly sunny skies, and these high temperatures will be mostly seasonal, maybe a couple degrees below average for this time of the year. Also a bit breezy, winds gusting out of the north and west for the Cascades and in the Kittitas Valley, out of the south and west for the Basin, the foothills, and the Blues. Can't rule out a shower or two today for the Kittitas Valley, but where we do have showers, it'll mostly be snow showers up in the Blue Mountains. But even that's a pretty low in chance. Then for tonight, dry, mostly clear, some leftover breezes for the Basin and for the Blues. And you might want to protect the outdoor pets, the plants, and the plumbing.
And Josh, we don't really see tropical storms in our area, but there were quite a few last year throughout the country.
Yeah, there were. These storms always have a name. And this morning, we're looking at some of the names actually that have been retired.
Yeah, so the World Meteorological Organization Hurricane Committee, that's just a long name for a committee, but anyway, is retiring the names of storms that have been especially deadly or destructive, and Helene is one of those.
Yeah, in addition to Helene, other names being retired, Brianna, Holly, and Miguel. Those will take the place of Beryl, Helene, and Milton on the Atlantic Basin list.
And Jake replaced John on the Eastern Pacific list. Huh.
Hurricane Jake. It just sounds like a really cool hurricane. You know?
It just sounds like a guy you know from like high school, Hurricane Jake. Like, you guys remember Hurricane Jake? Yeah, he was always doing something, right? I don't know.
It tracks. Yeah, no, it tracks. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. Josh has an early look at your weekend and what we can expect as we continue to make our way through what a lot of kids are celebrating as spring break. Will it feel like spring? Because those temperatures I saw looked a little chilly.
It's going to feel like spring.
Okay,
yes.
We're back right after the break.
Baseball is back! Spring is here, and so are your Tri-City Dust Devils. Don't miss opening day, Friday, April 4th at Giza Stadium. Receive a free magnet schedule thanks to Tri-Cities Community Health, and stay for fireworks presented by CO Energy. Opening weekend continues Saturday, April 5th with another fireworks show brought to you by Yolks Fresh Market. For tickets, head to the official site dustdevilsbaseball.com. Dust Devils Baseball. It will blow you away.
For over 49 years, Shelby's Floral has been your homegrown neighbor, bringing joy and beauty to every occasion. We're more than just a flower shop and specialize in beautiful custom arrangements, live plants, silk florals, and home decor. Our experienced designers are here to help you with all your floral needs, ensuring that every bouquet is as special as the moment it celebrates. Visit us today at our brand new location on Clearwater in Kennewick. We're part of your community and can't wait to help you celebrate life's moments. Shelby's Floral.
So what do you think about these? We like this.
Yeah, we love it.
When it's time for an update or a complete remodel, Rebath is with you every step of the way.
We're going to take everything down to the
From design and products to removal and installation, we handle the entire process to create a beautiful and functional bathroom for whatever your life needs.
Honey, you were right. Turned out.
Rebath, with you every step of the way. Call us or visit rebath.com to learn more about no interest, no payments for 12 months.
What makes NUU unique? The amazing customer service that we offer to our patients. They know that they're heard, that they're listened to, and we genuinely care about their well-being.
From the second I walked in that office, I felt seen, I felt heard, I didn't feel judged. It just was like, we're a team and we're gonna figure this out.
I had a rare form of breast cancer. Dr. Fedino has just been fantastic. She was really just on my side and helping me, and I'm so relieved and blessed that I went there.
I'm nowhere near diabetic, and I feel amazing. And I lost 55 pounds, and I've been able to keep it off.
She had saved my life because if she hadn't taken just that moment to ask me one extra question, I absolutely would have had an ugly cancer 6 months later.
Go to NUUWomen'sClinic.com to explore the countless ways that wellness meets beauty.
Early warnings, accurate forecasts.
Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We continue to track just a few sprinkles in the lower Columbia Basin and also some snow showers up into the Blue Mountains. Let's go ahead and put all of this into motion with Futurecast. And I'm thinking that the bulk of the action today is going to be concentrated in the Blue Mountains and also in the Kittitas Valley. So really from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m., that's when we're going to see the best opportunity of some snow showers in the Blue Mountains. It's not going to amount to that much at all. And then from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., that's when we could see some sprinkles in the Kittitas Valley. This model trying to bring some of that down into the Yakima Valley. We'll see if that pans out, but all in all, it's going to end up being a mostly dry day. Then for tonight will be completely dry. We'll continue to keep the forecast pretty dry for Friday and Saturday, but late Sunday through early on Wednesday, that's going to be our next weather makers. So let's go ahead and talk about that storm system. First of all, the impacts from snow from this one going to be pretty minimal, as snow levels will mostly be above past levels. So we can't rule out maybe trace amounts for Interstate 90 or for Oregon 204. But that's about all she wrote in terms of the snowfall. Now, in terms of rainfall, we're expecting a lot more, between 1/10 to 0.2 inches for the lower Columbia Basin, between 0.2 to 0.3 for the Blue Foothills, and between 0.6 to 0.8 for the mountains. But again, this is an early rainfall and liquid water forecast, so this is subject to change. High temperatures below average for today, pretty seasonal for Friday. Then look at this, all above average, very spring-like as we head into the weekend and into next week, maybe touching 70 degrees in the Tri-Cities by Sunday. All right, here is the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Dry and warming up through Sunday, shower chances for Monday and Tuesday, then dry again by next Wednesday. In Yakima, dry and turning warmer into this weekend. Small rain chances to start next week, but dry again by midweek. In Ellensburg, a small chance of a shower this afternoon. Dry and milder Friday through Sunday, then small rain chances return on Monday. In Hermiston, a bit breezy over the next couple days. A beautiful weekend ahead, especially Saturday, then a bit more active to start next week. Then finally in Walla Walla, dry and warming up through this weekend, rain likely on Monday, and maybe some thunderstorms in the mix by Tuesday. Now you're taking a live look at Yakima, this view coming courtesy of Bi-Mart. Thanks for waking up with Good Morning Northwest, where we're always on your side.
At Spectrum, we believe every day unlocks unlimited possibilities to bring you closer to the people and places you love. Spectrum transforms your gaming experience into a galaxy of adventures. And with the fastest, most reliable internet, you're always front row to the entertainment you love, no matter where you are. Get Spectrum Internet Premier for $30 per month when bundled, plus a 3-year price guarantee. Call 1-833-440-0029. Spectrum Internet puts streaming live TV, sports, and popular apps all at your fingertips.
Baseball is back! Spring is here, and so are your Tri-City Dust Devils. Don't miss opening day, Friday, April 4th at Giesa Stadium. Receive a free magnet schedule thanks to Tri-Cities Community Health, and stay for fireworks presented by CO Energy. Opening weekend continues Saturday, April 5th with another fireworks show brought to you by Yolks Fresh Market. For tickets, head to the official site, DustDevilsBaseball.com. Dust Devils Baseball. It will blow you away.
At US Cellular, we're celebrating our customers, like JP here. It's a special event. Us days.
Yeah, we get special rewards and exclusive deals, and it's only for US Cellular customers. It's like we got our own special club.
Should we show them?
Us days at US Cellular. Right now, our customers can get $1,200 off any phone plus $500 off any tablet.
Board-certified orthopedic surgeon Dr. Sam Strebel provides the full spectrum of orthopedic care.
A lot of times when I talk to patients, they're in so much pain that they can't do their hobbies. We can use the machine to balance the knee before we make any bony resections, and then that will hopefully translate to a faster recovery and a better, more natural feeling knee.
To learn more about services including robotic joint replacement at Prosser Orthopedic Center, visit prosserhealth.org.
Dear Triathlon, let's splash through rushing rivers, take on iconic trails, and race straight to the top. What's the point of winning if you can't kick back and enjoy the view? Yours, Toyota SUVs. Toyota is the #1 retail brand for 13 years in a row. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
E.T. and Extra, tonight at 7 on Apple Valley News Now.
Extra, extra. 524 in your entertainment news this morning here on Good Morning Northwest. Duchess Meghan, don't call her Meghan Markle. She'll tell you she's a Sussex all day long.
I think I changed that. I think it said Duchess Meghan. I think I put Markle. See, I don't know.
You got to get with the royal news, or at least what she prefers. Hey, but her long-awaited lifestyle brand has officially launched.
You must be excited. Just kidding. Anyways, the brand is called As Ever. She took to social media yesterday to mark the occasion of her first line of products that was being released.
Yeah, the first As Ever drop allegedly sold out in less than an hour.
By Jade alone.
Allegedly, and some other people on the internet. One item that sold out in less than 5 minutes is the $28 limited edition wildflower honey with honeycomb.
Is that just honey?
With honeycomb.
Oh,
honeycomb. Other items in the first collection included $12 herbal tea, a $14 crepe mix, a shortbread cookie mix, and a raspberry spread.
It all sounds so yummy, but also very expensive for those products.
Yes.
It's a little steep.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's just getting a little too
in every just industry,
like
putting the cooking show and now this. Is that what you mean?
I love a hustle. I love that she's out there and she's wanting to be a part
back in
so
the
much
spotlight and everything.
Yeah, but I think it's just going just a little too far.
Too much. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. That's just me.
I do want to try
love her, I love that for you.
Yeah.
You want some honeycomb?
I think so. I want to try it. I've never tried it.
Well, the next time it comes back online, we'll
have to spell
I'll
it out.
sign up for the alert.
Thank you so much
to get it for you. Is there anything you'd like to try? Some crepes, maybe a shortbread cookie?
Yeah, a shortbread cookie mix.
No, that's not in my wheelhouse at all.
She's also like making and cooking very British
obscure things. Oh, okay.
Foods and things, which she's not.
I can hear everything you're not saying. It's hilarious.
I feel like you have more opinions than Megan.
I do, but that's okay.
Yeah.
But it's fun. It's fun to see.
We'll table that for another time.
So much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. The bikes in one of our next stories may be small, but the risk is not.
That's right. Police are responding as there's been an uptick of cases involving mini bikes, and we go over the safety measures that people have not been taking. That's coming up in your next half hour. But first, here are your Tech Bites.
In today's Tech Bites, new details about Nintendo's new Switch 2. The gaming console will include higher quality visuals, controllers with mouse-style features, more storage, and more games. It comes out on June 5th at a cost of $450. It's $250 more than the original Switch when it launched in 2017. Amazon has reportedly made a last-minute offer to buy TikTok. TikTok is set to be banned from the US if its parent company fails to sell the app to a non-Chinese buyer by Saturday. President Trump has been trying to hammer out a deal with investors. A startup led by the founder of the adult content site OnlyFans has also submitted a bid. Finally, changes for Zelle. The popular digital payment system has shut down its standalone app because it was only used for about 2% of transactions. You can still use Zelle through a bank or its website if the bank is part of the Zelle network. Why shut down the banking app? Maybe they lost interest. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
You know, at Leaf Filter, we're proud to say we have millions of satisfied customers. Hey, there's one right now. And another. Leaf Filter stops needles, acorns, leaves, and more. No louvers, no openings, nowhere for debris to get in at all. I guess with cred like that, it's only natural to have fans. Apparently a lot of fans. Apparently a whole lot of fans. Call 833-LEAF-FILTER or visit leaffilter.com.
If you have Graves' disease and blurry vision, you need clear answers. People with Graves could also get thyroid eye disease, or TED, which may need a different doctor. Find a TED eye specialist at isitted.com.
On your period, sudden gushes happen. Say goodbye, Gush Fears. New Always Ultra Thin. It's made with rapid dry technology that absorbs 3 times faster. Now cleaner, drier, fresher. Always Gush Ready.
This is Apple Valley News Now. Good morning, Northwest. On your side.
Good morning. Thanks so much for waking up with us, joining us here for Good Morning Northwest. I'm Jade Elliott.
I'm Jessica Jalal.
And I'm Josh Colbert.
All right, Josh. So the 3-degree guarantee kind of, flopped quite a few times.
There were some ebbs and flows while you were gone.
Your 20-day streak is gone.
Life, right?
So is life.
But I think it's on the up and up. We're at like $50 or $75.
It is. Shout out to Stacy and Tiffany and the hodgepodge of people who covered for me. And this jackpot's back up to $100.
Yeah, let's go.
Put some respect on their names. Okay, yes, here's our 3-degree guarantee from yesterday. Stacy went with a forecast high of 60 in Pasco Tri-Cities. Hey, what do you know? Verified right at 60 degrees. So now the jackpot is up to $100. So for today, I'm going with a forecast high of 61 in Pasco Tri-Cities. If it verifies between 58 to 64, the jackpot's going to go up to $125. If that doesn't happen, the jackpot could be yours. Find out how to win the jackpot by going to applevalleyNewsNow.com, clicking on the contest page, or you could scan the QR code that's on your screen. Okay, now what's on your screen is First Alert Radar, just tracking a few sprinkles up towards the Hanford site in Connell, also some snow showers up in the southern Blue Mountains. Visibility continues to be pretty tough for Interstate 90, so seeing some fog up in the Cascades, but elsewhere visibility looking pretty good. Temperatures below freezing for portions of the Yakima Valley, also below freezing in the Cascades and in the Blues. So in those areas could be a bit of a frosty start. And those air temperatures feeling even colder when you factor in some of the wind gusts, especially in the Kittitas Valley, gusting out of the north and west around 20 miles per hour. We're also seeing some of those breezes in the Blue Mountains. Here's your coatcast for today for the Tri-Cities. Heavy jacket stuff for this morning. By the late morning, it's going to be light jacket weather, maybe some t-shirt weather at the peak of daytime heating in the sunshine, as we'll have a lot of that. Mostly sunny skies, and it's going to end up being a pretty seasonal day for early April. And I'll take you on that zone by zone tour of today's forecast, and that's going to be coming up in a few minutes.
Thank you, Josh. Starting off this half hour in Yakima, the city is wanting to increase tourism and it wants to address the parking downtown. At this week's city council meeting, members passed a motion which allows the city manager to have discretion with issuing parking permits. And this is an effort to increase the percentage of permits, which is currently at 60%. The motion passed 7-0. Also unanimously passed was a resolution authorizing a funding agreement of $1 million aimed to bring in new flights to the Yakima Airport.
In addition to continuing our very robust partnership with Alaskan Horizon, is we're trying to bring in Delta with the Salt Lake connection. Now that's a big ask because they don't have a footprint here, so the investment from them is equipment and personnel.
Airport Director Robert Hodgman also saying he hopes the Salt Lake City flights from the Yakima Air Terminal begin this fall, which will hopefully be followed by flights to Portland next spring.
In continuing coverage at 5:32, Washington Senator Maria Cantwell was in Washington, D.C., questioning the CEO of Boeing on the company's safety program and also the policies in place identifying safety hazards. Now, Cantwell was asking CEO Kelly Ortberg for a system that meets FAA standards. The FAA expert review panel saying that the system was not understood by the average employee. Now, Ortberg acknowledged that they're working to improve the performance of their safety and quality plan.
I'm absolutely committed to a mandatory safety management system. I appreciate your leadership there, and we're working to get that done. Actually, I'd like to have that in place by October of this year. We've submitted our draft to the FAA, and we're absolutely committed to moving to a mandatory SMS.
The FAA making a safety management system mandatory last summer, but they've also extended that timeline for companies to implement it to 2027.
The United States Postal Service is making improvements in the way it delivers mail, and this will impact the Pasco Post Office. USPS is making a huge investment into its future. It's part of its Delivering for America 10-year plan. It's investing $40 billion to make the postal network more modern. Media liaison John Spurgeon says this is the biggest infrastructure investment in USPS history.
So far this year, we've already funneled $18.9 billion into this budget into various projects aimed at transforming our delivery and processing networks, with a significant portion of nearly $135 million having invested in the state of Washington.
USPS has been dealing with financial and operational issues, and the Delivering for America plan aims to transform it to be self-sustaining and high-performing with more reliability and efficiency.
534, now taking you to Kennewick, where mini bikes have been causing some pretty big issues. Kennewick police responding to reports of 2 people on mini bikes riding down the middle of Clearwater. This happened Tuesday night. Officers say that the people driving them were wearing dark clothes, they didn't have helmets on, and they didn't have any lights on their mini bikes. Kennewick police saying that when they tried to stop the 2, a 19-year-old rider hit the curb and was thrown from his bike. We reached out to police, and they say that they've had quite a few calls about these bikes lately.
We've just seen just uptick in mini bikes being driven on the streets and people calling in about them. There is generally a lot of youth that ride them, but it ranges from ages, especially during the summertime when more people are out. People out riding these bikes in the roadways without helmets, but with no lights.
Police are using this as an opportunity to remind and urge people to follow the regulations when it comes to operating off-road vehicles.
And coming up on Good Morning Northwest, a Washington Tulip Festival is facing unexpected challenges as the trade war takes root. That and another look at your forecast is after the break in just a few minutes.
The 3-Degree Guarantee, sponsored by Legends Casino Hotel.
At Floor & Home, we know how important it is for everyone to have a safe place. That's why we've partnered with the Boys and Girls Club between now and April 15th by donating a portion of our sales. Love the home and community you live in.
At Smoke City for Less, we understand every smoker is unique. Explore our over 1,500 vape flavors and specialty curated selection of tobacco products. Your perfect flavor and blend awaits at any of Smoke City for Less 6 locations. Save your pennies. Smoke City for Less has the lowest prices. Find the best vape mods, batteries, kratom, and specialty products too. Our knowledgeable staff is always on hand to provide personalized recommendations. Smoke City for Less. We smoke the competition.
In 1997, my father-in-law, John Ramsey, started this business. We took it from 2.5 acres. Now we're 22 acres.
What separates us is you're not just a number when you walk in the door.
Professional, on time. They answer all my questions.
If you're looking for a high-quality trailer at the right price, this is the place.
It feels like a home away from home.
I can guarantee when you buy an RV from us, you are part of the Broadmoor family.
At Broadmoor RV,
we make camping fun!
The Pacific Clinic is a health, sports, and medical campus in Kennewick, now accepting new patients for primary care. We offer patient-specific solutions for physical, mental, and emotional health concerns. You'll receive quality one-on-one time with our medical professionals and experienced support team. Begin your new health plan with today's best technologies and facilities for the whole family. Play hard, live well at the PC. Call us at 509-783-5465 today.
Dust off those dancing shoes and grab your partner. Active for Life presents Community Dance, Friday, April 4th at the Hapo Center in Pasco. Here's an event you won't want to miss. There'll be dinner, dancing, casino-like games, and more. All this fun and excitement for just $30. It'll be a night to remember. Get your tickets now at the following locations. Proceeds for this wonderful event go to benefit the Walk to End Alzheimer's. It's the Community Dance, Dancing Through the Decades, Friday, April 4th from 5 to 9. Sponsored by these fine sponsors.
At Floor & Home, we know how important it is for everyone to have a safe place. That's why we've partnered with the Boys and Girls Club between now and April 15th by donating a portion of our sales. Love the home and community you live in.
Tomorrow morning, what does Elizabeth Moss and the cast of The Handmaid's Tale want you to know about the final season?
Don't cut this part, okay? This is all going on the air.
What will they reveal?
It's just the emotion of it is so close.
Don't miss them on
Good Morning America.
I love spring break.
Next round's on me!
Tell me what she took.
Max?
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. Let's go ahead and take you on a zone-by-zone tour of today's forecast. We start off in Kittitas County. Highs in the Cascades going to be in the mid-40s, but in the Kittitas Valley, they'll be in the mid-50s. Partly cloudy skies, winds gusting out of the north and west upwards of 25 miles per hour. Can't rule out a sprinkle in the Kittitas Valley from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. Then in the Yakima Valley, should be dry, mostly sunny. These high temperatures right around 60 degrees, light winds overall. Then in the lower Columbia Basin, also around 60 degrees, winds gusting out of the south and west upwards of 20 miles per hour. And the lower you get in the basin, the more sunshine you'll see. Then for the Blue Foothills, also mostly sunny skies. These highs in the low to mid 50s, and will be partly cloudy in the Blue Mountains with a chance of snow showers throughout the day, but that's going to be about a 20 to 30% chance. These winds gusting out of the west and southwest up to around 25 miles per hour. Now let's talk about the big picture, some of the snowfall deficits and surpluses we're tracking for all of our major basins. And you can see the one that sticks out like a sore thumb is the upper Yakima Basin, as unfortunately we continue to run a deficit for this time of the year, but the rest of our basins are in decent spots, especially in the Umatilla Basin. Unfortunately, it doesn't look like that much more snow is on the way, but we do have some rainfall on the way. I'll tell you how much coming up in a few minutes.
Josh, thanks so much. 5:40 now, and President Trump's trade war could be impacting tulips right here in Washington state. Canadian tourists are a major part of an annual festival here, but tulip farmers are concerned that our neighbors to the north might skip this year's event. Eric Wilkinson reports.
The purple prints that you have here on my right, absolutely gorgeous. Anything purple.
The spring bloom in the Skagit Valley brings hope for a fertile season in these fields. The annual Skagit Valley Tulip Festival back for its 42nd year after 6 previous years that have been anything but easy.
We've had a pandemic. We've had all kinds of different things that have popped up. We had record flooding.
At Skagit Acres, they've added 3 new acres of bulbs, hoping for a strong spring. But while the weather is finally cooperating, a new problem has popped up. Politics.
It hurts my heart, honestly.
The annual Tulip Festival brings about $83 million to the region. It's restaurants, hotels, and much more. But since talk of Trump's tariffs, there has been a border backlash against America. Crossings from British Columbia to the U.S. have dropped by 43%, and tulip farmers fear that will extend through the spring festival and perhaps beyond.
Part of being a Skagitonian is the ability to continue to survive and to continue to come back year after year.
Since the border battle began, cities like Port Angeles have held events to welcome Canadian travelers and instill goodwill. That goodwill is needed in the Skagit Valley, where the Tulip Festival is an economic engine, supporting not just small businesses, but nonprofits as well. With that in mind, tulip farmers are asking Americans from Bellingham to Boise to come to these fields and support Skagit County in the absence of our Canadian neighbors.
We will be here whenever they decide to come back with open arms.
Good morning.
Back at Skagit Acres, a hope that locals will see the valley through this season until a better one arrives.
Remind Americans what Americans do best. And that is, we show up in times that are good and in times that are more of a struggle.
Now, we've learned that about 40% of the Tulip Festival attendees do come from out of state, but it's estimated about half of the visitors are from Canada. All right, so much more ahead here on Good Morning Northwest. We have your morning sprint and everything you need to know before you head out the door this morning. And giving you that live look outside from our Bi-Mart camera in Yakima, Chief Meteorologist Josh Colberth will be back with your full First Alert forecast after the break. It's 5:42.
Feeling overwhelmed? It's time to shed your worries, literally. At Columbia Basin Buildings and Sheds, we've got the perfect shed to clear the clutter, create space, and bring peace to your life. Man cave, playhouse, done. Want something custom? We'll build it just the way you want it. And we deliver for free. Spring is here. Shed the mess, shed the stress. See dealer for special pricing. Visit Columbia Basin Building and Sheds today, 3680 West Van Giesen in West Richland, or 3005 Yakima Valley Highway in Sunnyside.
And Consumer Reports.
We're testers.
This organization accepts no advertising or sponsorship.
Since 1936.
Testing dishwashers, TVs, cars, vacuums.
We buy directly from stores, just like you.
Making sure products are safe.
And that they last.
Because we're advocates.
Engineers and scientists. We're testers. We're Consumer Reports.
Join us.
We are Grocery Outlet and we are your Bargain Bliss Market. What's Bargain Bliss? You know that feeling you get when you find the name brands you know and love, but for way, way less? That's Bargain Bliss. Everyone's favorite sale is back. The 20% off wine sale is on now through April 8th. We have hundreds of wines to choose from at prices so low you won't believe it. And every single bottle is 20% off. Stock up now before April 8th.
Grocery Outlet Bargain Market. This year, Walker's Furniture is turning spring cleaning into spring savings with an indoor garage sale where you can save store-wide up to 70% off clearance items. And new markdowns are arriving daily as we clean out the warehouses with big savings on closeouts, ding and dents, and floor model furniture at garage sale prices. Plus, special financing is available, so you can save big now and pay over time. But you better hurry. These deals will go fast. This week at Walker's.
To keep your home cool and comfortable all summer, your air conditioner needs maintenance this spring. Vance will inspect, test, and clean your AC so it's ready for hot weather. We'll leave your AC in better condition than we found it, and you'll be happy. Call now to schedule your maintenance appointment. It's the thing to do every spring. Don't take a chance. Call Vance.
E.T. and Extra, tonight at 7 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Welcome back to Good Morning Northwest. We continue to track a few light showers up towards the Hanford side in Connell, also some snow showers in the Blue Mountains. We'll put all this into motion with Futurecast, and from 8 this morning to about 4 p.m. this afternoon, that's going to be the best time frame of seeing snow showers in the Blue Mountains. It's about a 20 to 30% chance though. And then from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., that's when we could also see some light showers in the Kittitas Valley. This iteration of Futurecast bringing some of that down into the Yakima Valley. I'm not so sure about that. We'll see how it pans out, but in general, a mostly dry day, and then by tonight, completely dry. Okay, we'll continue to keep it pretty dry into Friday and Saturday, but our next stretch of active weather is going to be late Sunday through early on Wednesday. So let's talk about this storm system. First of all, snow impact's going to be pretty minimal from this one, as snow levels will mostly be above past level. Can't rule out trace amounts of snow for Interstate 90 and for Oregon 204, but that's about all she wrote in respect to that. But now let's talk about some of the rainfall totals we could see. Again, same time frame, and this looking a little bit more impactful, between 0.1 to 0.2 inches for the lower Columbia Basin, 0.2 to 0.3 for the Blue Foothills, and between 0.6 to 0.8 for our mountain ranges. But this is an early rainfall and liquid water forecast, so this is subject to change. High temperatures a little bit below average for today, just about seasonal for Friday. Then after that, a whole lot of spring, especially for Sunday, as we could touch 70 degrees in the Tri-Cities. Okay, here is the 7-day forecast for the Tri-Cities. Dry and warming up through Sunday, shower chances for Monday and Tuesday, then dry again by next Wednesday. In Yakima, dry and turning warmer into this weekend. Small rain chances to start next week, but dry again by midweek. In Ellensburg, a small chance of a shower this afternoon, dry and milder Friday through Sunday, then small rain chances return on Monday. In Hermiston, a bit breezy over the next couple days, a beautiful weekend ahead, especially Saturday, then a bit more active to start next week. Then in Walla Walla, dry and warming up through the weekend, rain likely on Monday, and maybe some thunderstorms in the mix by Tuesday.
Now, the morning sprint.
5:48, time for your morning sprint and the top 5 local things you need to know this morning. An update on a domestic disturbance call that came out of Benton County. We're told it involves someone who works for the sheriff's office. It all happened Tuesday when the sheriff's deputies responded to this incident near West King Toll and North Pioneer Road. Kennewick Police now taking over the investigation. We've been told that a man named Kenneth Troy Couch has been arrested in connection to this. He is in jail facing charges of second-degree assault and unlawful imprisonment.
If you plan to drive down Francis Avenue this morning, expect some detours and delays. The area between Roosevelt Street and Boyer Avenue will be closed for utility work. Local residents and pedestrians will still have access, and there's no word yet on how long this will be closed.
Toxicology reports from Washington State Patrol Trooper Sarah Clayson have revealed that her blood alcohol content was twice the legal limit 6 hours after the crash that killed Hosier Sanchez. Now, our team spoke with the family of the 20-year-old. His mom, aunt, best friend, and nephew all came here to the station saying they want justice. Coming up tomorrow, we'll hear more from his mom, and we'll continue, of course, to update you as we learn more on the case.
And President Trump unveiled a new tariff policy yesterday, and this includes auto tariffs as 25% on all foreign-made cars went into effect at midnight. And coming up tomorrow, we'll hear from McCurley Honda in the Tri-Cities to see how this is expected to impact drivers locally.
Tri-City Americans put up their best fight of the series last night at Toyota Center. Despite their efforts, though, they fell short to the Victoria Royals. Their season was on the line in Game 4. Both teams remained scoreless going into the second period before the Royals netted the first goal. Boys responded less than 3 minutes later, tying the game. Royals scoring 2 more, though, sealing a 3-1 win.
In your national headlines this morning, Senate Republicans unveiled their new budget blueprint yesterday. This follows a House resolution passed in February that calls for at least $1.5 trillion in cuts. But the Senate wants $4 billion in cuts. And next up in the process is what's called vote-a-rama, allowing both sides of the aisle to force a long series of votes on the Senate floor. And that could begin as soon as tomorrow. Thousands of previously fired IRS employees will be back on the job full-time in about 2 weeks, and this will affect roughly 7,000 employees who were fired by the Trump administration in February. They were reinstated by judges last month, but were quickly placed on paid administrative leave when they returned. They're still on paid leave, but will be back on the job full-time by April 14th.
In your business headlines this morning at 5:50, for the first time since the pandemic, Disney World will have both of their water parks open this summer. Disney's Typhoon Lagoon Water Park in Lake Buena Vista will open May 1st, and it will remain open for the rest of its scheduled season. Blizzard Beach in Bay Lake will open May 21st and will run through September 7th. And Tesla sales have plunged 13% in the first quarter of this year. Tesla reporting it delivered 50,000 less vehicles in the quarter compared to the first 3 months of last year. It's a big decline, the biggest that the company's seen in history. They say backlash against Tesla CEO Elon Musk and growing competition in the EV market have taken a large bite out of demands for Teslas.
In your health headlines this morning, the U.S. Supreme Court has sided with the FDA's attempt to keep certain flavored vapes off the shelves. The case stemmed from the FDA's refusal to grant approval, saying they were deliberately geared to appeal to minors. However, it's only a partial win because the High Court sent the case to an appeals court for additional review. And the FDA has delayed the full approval of Novavax's COVID-19 vaccine. According to a source, the FDA is looking for more data on the vaccine. The Novavax vaccine was on track for clearance until the delay, and if approved, it would become the third vaccine against COVID-19 to receive full approval. The agency's decision was due on April 1st, but the company says it has not heard anything yet.
5:52 in your sports headlines this morning. Jason and Kylie Kelsey have welcomed another baby girl. Just came into the world Sunday. Meet Finley and Kelsey. The couple announced the arrival of their fourth daughter in an Instagram post showing pictures of newborn lying on her mommy's chest and with her daddy all wrapped up in a blanket wearing a pink hat and a bow. I love them.
So cute.
I think they're fantastic.
Wholesome.
They are. Yeah. And I think she's so funny, and her podcast.
Oh.
And she already said, I know everyone's going to come at me for the name because all of the other kids have names with T's in them.
Oh.
2 T's. They have Wyatt.
So they switched it up.
And so they switched it up with Finley, and she says, I know they're already going to come at me, but I don't even care.
Yeah, don't care.
They all have special names.
Do what you want to do.
Yeah, I love them.
And trending this morning, Nintendo has unveiled the Switch 2.
The original hybrid game console came out 8 years ago and was wildly successful. The Switch 2 will launch on June 5th for $450, which is quite a bit more than the first gen model, which was $300.
In January, the video game company disclosed only the new console's design and compatibility with previous generation games.
But yesterday, Nintendo revealed specific details about the Switch 2 for the first time, including specifics about the hardware. Do you guys play a lot of video games?
I don't.
I stopped, I think, freshman year of high school, and I played a lot of GameCube before that. So
GameCube.
You a gamer?
Yeah, Mario Party.
My parents didn't really like me playing games, but my cousin would come into town and he had a GameCube, so I'd like
It was always with the cousins. That's why I would play video games too.
Yeah. No, my kids like to play though.
Yeah.
You know, it's fun.
There's fun games out there.
There are, yeah. All right, well, scientists have made a new discovery after sending a soybean mixture into space. Take a look at this.
So after a 30-day process, the mixture turned into a paste known as miso, and it's thought to be the first time that food was successfully fermented in space.
This makes me think of The Martian with Matt Damon, where he grows potatoes in his own.
Yes.
I don't want to say what he grows it in, but anyway.
But he grows it. Yeah.
He does, yes. The experiment was done aboard the International Space Station. Researchers wanted to find out if it ended up tasting any different than a batch made on Earth. They report that the space miso had a more roasted, nutty flavor.
Oh, the findings could be used to create other types of fermented foods in space, which would give astronauts more options for meals.
That would have been nice for Butch and Sunny Wilmore.
For their 9 months in space?
For 10 months, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
That's the truth, I know. All right, we'll learn something new every day in space. Still ahead here on Good Morning Northwest, we have an in-depth look at a deadly crash involving an off-duty trooper. We'll let you know where she was before that crash. We have new information on her toxicology results and what her attorneys are saying and making of all of it.
Plus, scientists are taking out of this world cooking literally. We're going to have more coming up. And Josh, what are you tracking in the next hour?
Yeah, we are tracking some very spring-like weather over the next 7 days. I'll tell you just how springy it could feel for this weekend. That's going to be coming up on Good Morning Northwest at 6.
It's the National RV Show at the Pendleton Convention Center. April 4th through the 8th. Get amazing discount prices from manufacturers from across the country, like Grand Design, StarCraft, and more. And $2,500 over NADA for your trade. There's show-only financing with 0 down, rates as low as 5.99, and no payments till July. And talk about giveaways. Win a StarCraft trailer or $30,000 in cash. And every purchase gets a free 65-inch TV. So don't miss the best deals of the season at the National RV Show at the Pendleton Convention Center.
At Fred's, not only do we guarantee the best prices, we prove it. Our live price card keeps things transparent, showing you real-time prices. No gimmicks, just the best prices on in-stock, get-it-today inventory. And when it comes to beating the big box stores, our prices aren't just competitive, they're unbeatable. Check out how we stack up. Whether it's this amazing new fridge or this energy-efficient dishwasher, Fred's prices are always the best. At Fred's, we sell appliances, only appliances.
Hey Ham Fam! Easter is April 20th, and when your family gathers this season, spend less time in the kitchen and more time with your loved ones. At Honey Baked Ham, we have everything your gathering needs, starting with our fully cooked spiral cut ham, dripping with our famous mouth-watering glaze. Add a smoked or oven-roasted turkey breast, delicious sides and desserts. Your complete feast is waiting for you at Honey Baked Ham. Order online or give us a call. Honey Baked Ham, helping you make the most of your time with family.
The Inland Northwest is a vibrant community, rich in tradition and pride. And Culligan has a long history of providing custom solutions to address the area's water worries, like nitrates, bacteria, and PFAS. Culligan, water you love since 1936.
It is Operation Best Friend every Wednesday as we feature lovable pets from area shelters all looking for their forever homes. Operation Best Friend from Christine Connolly, As You Wish Real Estate Services, and the Manthei Group Cross Country Mortgage.
Judy Justice, today at 4 on Apple Valley News Now.
From Apple Valley News Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Josh Colbreth.
Good Thursday morning. Right now we're seeing some very light showers up towards the Hanford side, also towards Connell and Mesa, and some snow showers up in the southern Blue Mountains. Okay, visibility is tough up in the Cascades, so take it slow as you're traveling across Interstate 90. For the rest of us, visibility looking pretty good. On to temperatures now. We're below freezing for portions of the Yakima Valley, also below freezing up in the Cascades and Blues. So in those areas might be a bit of a frosty or frozen start. And those air temperatures might feel a little bit colder than they would otherwise suggest, with some of the winds gusting out of the north and west upwards of 20 to 25 miles per hour in the Kittitas Valley. Also a bit breezy up in the Blue Mountains. So for today, it's going to end up being another beautiful day, mostly sunny skies.